All right. Hello, Angelo. Welcome to the Wiretap.
What's up, man?
Let people know who you are and what you do in your band and what your kind of music your band does and all that kind of fun stuff.
My name is Angelo, and I've been a part of Imposter of Humanity for as long as that's been a thing. Kind of switched roles throughout that band, but currently I'm drumming for it.
I was gonna say, like, I remember, cause I think I don't know if it was your guys' first show, but I remember playing with you, my old band, for one of our last shows, and I think it was the first time I had seen you guys. I didn't remember if you played drums at the time.
Yeah, that was our first time at the Funhouse. I was playing guitar,
Yeah,
so at that time we had a pretty we had a pretty solid lineup with the drummer, but things kind of switched up
yeah,
and
just
going
seen
through
that.
members like so and so kind of coming and going.
Yeah.
Everyone's all in good. So it's just kind of a like they start their own project or move on to a different project kind of thing.
Yeah, it just kind of was one of those things where you guys couldn't get like a lineup that was super consistent at the time.
Right. That thing happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got really lucky in my band to just got get like a lineup of guys who all wanted the same thing at the same time. That I mean, like that's so fucking hard in music to get.
Right. It's difficult. Like that was clearly what was going on in the first lineup that you saw. Like we all had very different ideas. Like we
Yeah,
had the down tempo. I was more into that. Drummer was kind of more. He's more of a punky kind of dude. He's really quick, really like in on his fills.
yeah,
So our way of writing was kind of. I mean, we made it work because we've been jamming long enough to have a flow.
yeah,
It was definitely a difference.
yeah. But I like you guys. You guys have an interesting sound. There's not a whole lot of like pure down tempo bands around
Yeah,
Washington. There's not many of y'all.
trying to
There's
stick out as one of them.
yeah.
We're
Like you guys
in
I
shit
think
with this
it's
time around.
I think the last time I aside from you guys I saw a down tempo band in Washington, I think it was Time Spent. I think they were the last like down tempo band I
Tyson
saw. Yeah, like
played
times
with them in Brown ones. They were awesome.
yeah,
I like those
they're
dudes.
great dudes. I love them. But they're like slamming down tempo, I guess, or something. But I mean, who cares? They were good though.
They take it low.
They do take it fucking low.
They always play good shows. I've seen them a few times around.
Yeah, I think I saw them with
Remember
Forward the Likes of You.
Breather?
Yeah, they were great. Um, also, we
Remember Breather being kind of down tempo.
oh yeah, I forgot about
So,
Breather. Forgot about Breather. Dude, yeah. Oh my god,
I
I
know,
forgot
right?
about them. They were
They just
sick.
felt off. Like
Yeah,
everyone was hyped for them for a minute.
there's so many
Yeah,
like
they were played at fucking Summer Slaughter that one year.
oh
Like
yeah.
that was some shit.
Dude, yeah, them I remember there was a band called I think it was Gorehound. I think that's what they were called. They're like a hardcore band around here, and I remember they released like a really good EP, and then just broke up and disappeared. And I was like, "Damn, that sucks."
Yeah, it was something, Alan. I saw them playing the first time I ever saw Body Snatcher.
Oh, nice. That's really good.
Yeah, that was also the first time I ever got in a car accident after that fucking show.
Oh, really? Dude.
Yeah, it's funny later because I ended up meeting the guy from Body Snatcher like a year later, and I told him about that. He just started dying. He like, fuck, dude. It's like, yeah, I was listening to your CD and everything too, and got into a fucking hit and run.
Oh my
I was
god.
not the runner, by the
Yeah.
way, but Everett. I was literally just leaving. Didn't make it like 2 blocks
Oh my
past Tony
god.
V's. Like
Oh
that sucked
no.
ass.
Yeah, that sucks. Dude, I remember I was on my way to go see I was on my way to go see Cut Both Ways at the Fun House with I think Two Clicks and a couple other of the hardcore bands around here. And I was on
Still
my
a
way.
duo.
Dude, yeah, right? Dude, they're so good live. They both are. They both have such a good live energy. But
Two clicks is scary.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Scary.
I never know when Big Nick's just gonna like snap and try to murder me. So it's always exciting. It pumps the adrenaline. But
You're that big, it's just humorous.
right.
Like, shit, my roommate's like huge. Like he's like 6'6".
Oh
Like
yeah,
rough him up and like knock my ass on the ground back. I'm like, fuck.
yeah. Dude, I
It's like I
remember
didn't mean it. Shit.
I love going to the fun house when Nick's doing ID checks at the bar because I'll just be standing in the back and I'll just feel like a little on the back of my head. I was like, fucking big Nick. But I was on my way to go see them, and I was going through the I-90 tunnel, and I just like I was like everybody was screeching to a halt for some reason because it's the freeway, and of course it is because it's Seattle, and I like looked in my rearview mirror, and I noticed the guy behind me like wasn't slowing down. And I was just like, all right, here we
Oh yeah.
go. It just got like rear-ended super tough, and then as I was on the phone with the non-emergency line because I was like, none of us are hurt, neither of us are hurt, but like, we still have to get off to the side, and then we're on the middle of the freeway, so they have to shut down the freeway, and
It's a terrible spot to wreck.
right, it's really bad, and me and him were just in the middle there with our hazards on, and I was like, yeah, we're sitting in the middle, we can't get over, like, please help, fuck, and then like as I was telling them, like, yeah, it's just two-car accident, another accident happened a lane over from us. Another person slammed into a stopped car, like a lane over from us. I was just like, never mind, there's another accident now, that lane over.
Like, what's the number for the emergency line again?
I don't even remember. Yeah, God, fuck. I don't even remember. I think I had to Google it in the tunnel because I was just like, what the fuck's the number for the emergency line? Because I don't want to call 911 because neither of us are hurt. Like,
Yeah.
I like stuck my hand out the window. I was like, I put a thumbs up and he put a thumbs up. So I was like, okay, well, neither of us are like fucked over. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like, oh god, that was a nightmare. I was like texting Shay, like, bro, I like got into a car accident. I'll be there soon. And he was like, dude, what
Not
the fuck? He was like, that's
not gonna
not it.
make it. That's
Yeah.
just damn.
I still made it,
That's
and I went there.
unfortunate.
I still made it, and it was
Oh,
great.
you still made it.
I
Like
ran
fuck
it,
that
dude.
car. I'm sure.
I ran it with my bumper detached, like hanging off. It was great.
God, dude, I still kept that fucking car after I because I got T-boned going like 30
Oh yeah,
by a
yeah.
drunk driver for sure. It was St. Patty's Day. He was definitely
Oh,
drunk. He didn't
oh yeah.
fucking stop.
Oh yeah. Definitely
Uh,
drunk then.
that caved in both of my doors. They didn't open. The frame was probably done. I still kept that car for like another 6 months,
Holy shit.
and then later told it. But like,
Yeah.
that's an unrelated story. That's
Dude, my first car I had for a really long time, and I got T-boned, same sort of thing. I got T-boned in the parking lot though, instead of going 30, and it was a hit and run. They didn't stop, and I kept it, and I took like my door panel off, and I just hit it. I just rebent my the metal back outwards so that the door mechanisms and the window mechanisms like actually worked. And then I just ran it like that for a while, and then I was going to pick up my neighbor from work, and then as I was pulling into his parking lot, I got fucking rear-ended and it totaled, and I was like, "Damn, it do be like that."
it had to happen that day.
Yeah, and I was in Everett
Car
too,
was
and I don't,
done.
you know me, I don't live in Everett, so I was just like, "Fuck, I'm like 40 miles
Everett.
away from home."
Yeah, don't buy cars you want to keep if you live in Everett. Bus for real.
it was
If I ever
it was some like old dude
move
in the
somewhere that
truck,
isn't the sticks, I'm busing.
dude.
God,
It was like some old dude
you know,
in like
now I'm the
a
dude in the truck.
'90s Toyota Camry or '90s Toyota Tacoma, and he was like, "I tried to stop," and I was like, "Clearly not hard enough, man. Like I don't know what to tell you."
You tried to stop. How about you fucking stop?
It was like the
That's,
second
that's a good
night,
excuse.
right? It was like the second day that it rained in Washington, so everyone had like already forgotten how to drive in rain because it was like past summer.
Yep.
So it's the classic where like everyone forgets how to drive and no one knows what the fuck they're doing. It's wonderful. It's my favorite
There's
part.
an awful lot amount of cars in a ditch every November.
Yeah. Oh
Every
yeah.
goddamn November.
Everyone forgets how to drive in the rain somehow. Even though we spend like half the year plus driving in the rain constantly, like almost daily. And then summer rolls around, we spend like 2 months not driving in the rain constantly, and then like September or October rolls around, and then we're just like, oh, rain, fuck, shit, man, it's like Guys, are we
Everyone's windows
goldfish?
are fogged up.
Oh god,
I
yeah.
blame everyone vaping in their cars.
Dude,
It's
yeah.
the humidity.
It's the humidity of
Very
it.
bad enough in the summer.
God, yeah, it's such a nightmare. It's such a absolute nightmare, man.
It's supposed to snow apparently. That'll actually be great.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Dude, so I'm curious, um, how have you guys been like doing band stuff in quarantine and shit? Like, have you guys been writing, expressing yourselves, all that kind of stuff while in quarantine? Because every band I feel like has their own way of doing it at this point.
Specifically for right,
Yeah.
specifically for imposters, just more like writing because I finally had gotten to the point of getting like somewhat of a decent digital workstation going on. Was able to record a few things. That shot out. So I gotta wait for like build up for another laptop or something. But
Mm.
mainly just writing. There was a point where I was like part of other projects. I was doing my buddy's band Will of the Sea.
Mm.
Occasionally we'd practice, even though there were no shows going on, and eventually that just kind of stopped as well. I'm
Yeah.
still doing that project, but
It's
I
just
would
like the
more
practice
so
of stuff.
writing than practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I feel like every band I've talked to, either while doing like this podcast or doing like an interview or whatever, has had their own way of like being creative still while being in quarantine. It's been kind of like interesting to
Right.
talk to them all and just
Exactly.
kind of
I know.
see.
Not only writing, but then you start writing in kind of a weird way,
Oh yeah,
kind of veered towards either the most extreme of what you're going for, just kind of
yeah, just
even
kind,
choosing a different genre or something.
yeah, just getting weird with it because like that's all you really have at the moment. Just getting weird with it. Yeah, no,
That's all you
it's
got.
yeah, exactly. Like
And
music
people are still making it work. Just kind of
in a weird
people are
like
still making it work. Just kind of like releasing song after song.
yeah, just releasing stuff when they can and writing when they can and shit because it's like music for a lot of these musicians it's like all we've done for years. So it's like now suddenly it's all gone and you just get to like try to figure out what to do next.
Right.
It's like it's just a nightmare. This whole thing is just a nightmare.
And truthfully, at that point, it kind of shows of an importance of what your social. On a sense, it almost kind of shows that it is now somewhat important to build up on your social media presence, so to say.
Yeah.
You would post, the more you're gonna pop up on people's feed. People like Ghostmade Victims come to mind because they're still like releasing a new song every month.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, they're especially victims.
Like
Victims,
them popping up an album.
dude, yeah, dude, especially victims.
I like the way they do things
I do too.
because they just release songs and then release like volume four and then like they don't try to conspiracize this entire grand like concept album.
Oh yeah. No, they
They
just
just go
have their
for it
thing.
in one song and compilate it.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just kind of do their own thing. Like each album has like a story, like a general theme, but they don't try to like web in this whole like story and stuff. I mean, that's why I
Right.
love them. Plus, like they just really were like, oh, if we just focus on our media presence or like our social media presence and stuff, like everything else will
Right.
follow.
They're staying so consistent. They release
Yeah.
this they every few months you can expect a new song out of bands like that. And that's
Yeah.
only the first one that comes to mind. There's others doing that too. It's
Oh yeah.
kind of new wavy Stay Sick record sounding like
Yeah.
Alpha Wolf, Dealer, like
Then
people
you like
doing
then you like metalcore,
that kind
hardcore,
of
beatdown sort of thing.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, no, I think that, that finally the music industry is finally adapting to being on the internet and having to like go through social media shit. I feel like it's so weird to watch like the music industry like kind of change based off the technology that we have and stuff and how like watch how quickly or slowly we all change and like adapt to it and stuff because I feel
It's
like
hard to wrap your head around how quickly it happens.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes it feels like it just
There's
happens
this
overnight.
there was this college course I took where one of the professors, it was based around like music businessy kind of thing, but she brought up this point over people who would like spend 2 years to write an entire album versus like releasing songs on a consistent basis,
Hmm. I feel
like due
like
to how short your attention span can be when you stream music.
yeah,
And also, do you feel more compelled to listen to something that's like a minute 30 long just because like it ain't that long?
yeah, that's
But then
true.
that 30 minutes it can sound like three different songs.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that is true. Like, especially I feel like SoundCloud kind of like ruined like the 2 year album cycle for everyone. Like SoundCloud rap because like
Yeah,
they just kind of release shit and release whatever the
rappers are
fuck they
like
record.
perfecting the art of being that kind of consistent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I
Rappers
remember
are always consistent like that.
yeah, I remember when Ski Mask the Slump God started like just started out. I remember like almost like every month you could expect like at least a song or two from him, and it was like, and they were always like really good because it's Ski Mask and he's great. But like it, and then like I would go back to metal and be like, wow, this band hasn't released an album in fucking 3 years. Why? It says they're
Yeah,
still
right.
together on their social
Like
media, but are they really? It's like, oh god, yeah, no,
I'm
and
just
then
torn a bunch or something. Like
yeah, exactly, because it's the only way to make money. I mean, not the only way, but that's the biggest way to make money as like a band, is
right,
touring. But yeah, no, you can't. It's like any not
right.
you can't like just you can't just record an album every like couple years anymore. You have to like try to be constantly making something new. You have to be constantly putting out singles, keeping up a social media presence and stuff.
Right.
It's interesting to be a musician right now. I
It's
feel like
it's almost more relieving that way to
yeah.
just be able to put out like one thing instead of like, oh, what should come after this? Like, you should probably just put it out. People will tell you if it sucks,
Yeah.
and people definitely do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but then you still got their attention, so that just depends on how you look. It's
Yeah.
better than being generic. Better to suck than being generic.
That's true.
You
No.
know.
Better to be too weird for people than to be the same thing that's been released for the past 10 years or whatever. Like that's how I
Right.
look at it at
Because I'll
least.
think something's so weird and not listen to it, and then come back to it like, huh, like that's out there. Why am I still thinking about it? And then you end up listening to it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's interesting, yeah. Like god, like I remember releasing the one song we have out. I remember releasing that song and just being like, it's I released something. I did it. I did the thing, and I was like, now I need to release another thing. And then it's that for the rest of my fucking life and music. Oh god. And then that's how the fucking
just always
like
coming up with something.
that's how the existentialism kicks in and just you just get to sit there and be like, it's this for the rest of my life now, I guess. Oh god.
It's like this was my best. They want more. Fuck. It's like,
It's like shit. This took me months to do, and now I have to do more of it. Ugh.
and I talk all the shit about releasing, every so often. I maybe only have like 4 songs out with a band that's been around for like 3, 4 years now.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that's not like a song a year. There was like one 3-song EP, and then like something released last year,
I feel that, like,
and something that's
especially
really like released soon.
yeah. I
And then
mean,
that brings it up to 5.
yeah,
That
yeah. I mean, fucking like that's how it is for local bands, man. Like, I feel like it's impossible to be consistent releasing while you're in a local band because fucking there's just your resources are low in comparison. I feel like that just might be me. I think I think it's like mainly just comes down to like what people want. Cause there's people like Dead Lakes, and they release shit like every month or two for a while before they started working on their album. But
Yeah,
but then there's people like then there's most other local bands where they just don't have the access or resources to be able to do that. They don't have the contacts and shit, you know.
right. Like some people like not even having a laptop
Yeah,
with the little red scarlet boxes and shit.
that's what I
That's all
got.
it ever takes. But like, it's, yeah, that's kind of your standard thing. But
Yeah.
most people have a hard time even getting to that. Like in my case, how it just gets like it just totally shat out for no reason,
Mm,
and
yeah.
like not been able to write it or anything.
That
Just like
sucks.
practicing using the Reaper and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It must be over like 100 little weird things that I made on there, just
Just
to like practice using that and practice what recording would be like
yeah,
in a sense.
yeah, yeah. No, like I remember my
Like it's easier with an electronic kit.
yeah. It's way easier with an electronic kit just to kind of like
Sorry about
set up and practice. What?
it's really laggy.
Yeah, it
And I'm worried I'm
is.
like been cutting you off a bunch.
Oh no, you're good, dude. We're talking with a delay and shit. That's totally fine. That's how it is. It just be like that, man. Like it's just all like lagged and delayed and shit. Like we're not
You were
trying
about
to
to
cut
say
each
something
other
though.
off. Like we're not trying to cut each other off or anything. It's just how it is. But like,
Fucking Zoom. I'm glad I graduated. Wouldn't have to do Zoom
God,
school.
right?
That'd be terrible.
It would be fucking terrible. That's why I'm happy for college. I'm on like I was in online school before the pandemic, so I'm just kind of like I'm already fucking. We don't do Zoom. We use a different program, and even then, they don't require you to show up to the actual lectures. So I'm just like, oh, thank God, I don't have to deal with this bullshit.
Right.
It's very
Yeah,
nice.
pandemic fucked me right out of school.
So
It was
rough.
supposed to be on campus. You can't really do that shit online. It's like,
Mm.
oh well.
Oh, good.
I mean, it'll be back.
Yeah.
I was already at the point of getting an internship where I wanted to be,
Mm.
like a paid internship kind of thing. So that
Nice.
as soon as shit opens up, that'll actually start happening.
Nice. Hell yeah. Well, speaking of like recording and stuff, I was gonna ask. So I'm assuming you use Reaper because you mentioned it earlier.
Oh yeah,
So is that probably the program you have the most like familiarity with?
for sure. And I worked with Pro Tools a bit too, but I can't afford to put that on every computer I buy.
Yeah. Jesus, yeah, this Pro Tools is fucking expensive. Plus, I like the layout of Reaper
It's
more.
great.
Yeah,
It's really user friendly.
yeah, exactly.
It's
It
really
makes
drive
like intuitive sense.
based kind of thing.
Yeah,
Right.
it makes like intuitive sense. Whereas Pro Tools, it's like you have to have someone tell you, or you have to look it up or something because it's hidden in like four different like drop down menus and shit, and it's like
Yeah.
fuck, it's so
I
aggravating.
was kind of getting used to it at first because that was a part of what I was going to school for.
Yeah.
So I like kind of already got my bearings on that, even though it's slow as fuck because I'm not usually a Mac guy.
Mm,
I'm like stuttering with the Mac controls,
I feel that.
thinking, trying to look for the shift key.
I feel that. I fucking hate Mac OS so much. I hate it. I like PC and Windows personally. That's just me. Yeah, no.
I just prefer that more as well. Like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, the gaming PCs when it comes to audio shit because processors or the processors for gaming
Hmm.
laptops
Yeah.
that'd be nothing for audio as long as it's plugged in the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I know if I tried to run Reaper without it and I had like 30 plus tracks going on at the same time, it'd clip really bad
Oh God, yeah,
up until I like plugged it in and it ran on AC mode. But once it runs on AC mode, it's fine.
yeah. Then it's just like then it's just chilling. But God,
Right.
yeah.
And then half of that is how you probably shouldn't really be using a laptop as a digital work area. But
I mean, that's I feel like that's fine. Fucking like you don't need a tower for audio work. I mean, fucking Kenny Beats, who's like the most sought after producer in rap right now. Like he uses a fucking MacBook. Like and
oh,
he used that like in his home studio, not even like when he's traveling. Like he just plugs it in. He's like, yeah, okay, well, let's start cooking shit up. It's like, bruh.
well, I guess it does work. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what fried my laptop.
Yeah,
Or it
yeah,
could have possibly been that, or
yeah. No, it's like,
I guess that worked.
yeah. I hope you figure it out, man. I mean, fuck, it sucks. I'm very lucky. I don't have
I had to
to.
just get a new one.
Yeah, that's true too. Um,
It's at that point.
yeah. Uh, another thing I wanted to ask you was how did it come to be like Imposter of Humanity? Like how did you like finally arrive at like where you guys kind of wanted to be musically and stuff like that?
Well, first it was Corrupt Captivity. That's just kind of rather unmentionable. It's just, I mean, that was it started more when we were like still in high school, kind of like 16, 15. We were around that age group.
Yeah.
And I was mainly a drummer. I've been playing drums a lot longer than I have guitar.
Mm.
But at that age, you just want to play gigs and you're really hungry to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the first drummer who you saw that first set you saw us play, that would have been him.
Yeah.
And probably at that time too, like that was actually a while ago. I think we were like 18 and or 17 and 19 at that time.
Mm. You guys are probably
But
like yeah. Yeah, I think so.
we're youngins and we got that a lot too. Like
Yeah,
just
I got that a
want
lot too cuz I started playing shows at 17, so I got that a lot too.
right.
Yeah.
But we played under the name Corrupt Captivity and just kind of wrote some jams, never recorded them. And I just kind of name changed and then started writing a little more disciplined, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
A little like because he had gotten a couple years of drum lessons in by that point, and I was getting a little better at guitars, using more extended range and finding out which style would actually fit me comfortably,
Yeah.
so to say. And then we really started like keeping gigs going consistently when Jacob started booking us a lot
Yeah.
over in Berkeley. Because then at that point we were just used to like trying to have something to do every weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
I only do like one place a month, so we'd at least try to do like 3 gigs out of the month.
Damn.
Try to build crowds in
God damn.
separate areas.
Yeah.
Occasionally that worked. Like
Yeah.
there would have been a few months where like we would land 3, like nearing the end, kind of was the thing. We were consistently like Charles. Like they were always cool to have us play whenever
Yeah.
with whoever.
But then like
It's like hometown, and we're always bringing friends who bring friends and shit. So they're like, yeah.
nice. Hell yeah.
Seattle was always a little tougher. So you kind of
Yeah.
mostly because of the driving, we'd pile everything into one little like F-150 truck, pile all the shit in that. And poor drummer had the drove, and it had no powered steering when you turn left.
Oh God.
So I was sitting there breaking his elbows trying to get to the fucking place.
Oh God. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, God. Yeah, Seattle's always tougher because the drive, and then also just because like you have to sell to like you have to sell
Yeah,
yourself to like a
the
bigger,
throughput
wider
in
audience.
Seattle. That's the only town it's ever like been like that in, because we've only done Elko, Funhouse, and Studio 7.
Yeah,
But
same.
that is like literally the only town where like pre-sales are required
Yeah, yeah. You
of
have to sell
interest.
pre-sales.
Not when it's with established bands, I get that.
Yeah,
But even then, like they're gonna sell the fucking place out anyways
yeah.
half the time. So like,
So like, who cares? Just go on the page and be like, "Hey, I'm in the opening band. I got pre-sales," and everyone's like, "Oh,
all right.
pre-sales are like $3 cheaper. Give me one." I'm like, oh, "Okay."
So depending on who you play with, they sell it themselves at times.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
because if you know it's with somebody you like, you're like, "Hey, everybody want to take so and so." Like, oh fuck yeah, like, got them on the cheap. Not
Yeah,
really, but
yeah. Like, dude, that was probably my least favorite part about being in a band was when I was playing Seattle and we had to sell pre-sales because half of our band members didn't have social media. So like it would just be me and my
yeah,
drummer
that always
selling pre-sales.
stings.
Yeah, God,
Our our front man was really like that all the time. He's a really shy dude. Like half the time, he never knew what to say, so we would just kind of like skip banter and go on to the next song. But it's always between like me and the drummer. We'd always sell the most. And we'd push him like hard, not really through social media,
Mm,
but just like friends of friends.
yeah, exactly.
Like because the social media only like works so and so. Like there had maybe only been a handful of times
Yeah,
where I'd like gotten a message from someone I didn't know asking if I had tickets. Oh, good shit. We should
yeah.
really have a link for that. But like,
Yeah, true. I feel that. Oh god, dude. Fucking that whole grind of just like pre-sales is so annoying. It's like my least favorite part of doing music was just that and like obviously like business and stuff. It's like the business side of music.
the amount of people that the amount of people that like kind of stuff came easy to blew me away.
Yeah.
But it's like it was the kind of people you'd expect. Like
That's
like
true, yeah.
people know everyone, and it's like it makes sense.
Yeah. But
But
it's
at the
like
same time, it's like
what the
what
fuck?
could it possibly be?
Yeah, it's like what the fuck? Dude, yeah. It's a fucking whole ass nightmare selling tickets. Like, okay, so another thing I was thinking about asking was so the new recording you guys had was that all DIY? Was that all you guys recording it and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's DIY.
Nice.
That's totally DIY.
Oh yeah.
I recorded all the dudes. I did drums and guitar simply only just because I wrote it, but
Yeah.
looking for someone to fill that space. But it happens to be low enough where like you could pull it off with a bass
Yeah.
pitch shifter, you know?
Yeah. You can make it work with that, yeah.
I've seen people do that before. I mean, they do kind of some weird obscure thing, but like I've never seen a hardcore. You see only guitarists all the time. You see three piece with just a guitarist,
Yeah.
not so much a bass. So
No.
just to
Yeah.
change it up.
Just change it up a bit. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's low enough. It would make sense.
Yeah, exactly. You can make it work. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
remember
it was Reaper with the electronic drum sets as well as just the typical stuff. The guitar was going through bias effects.
hmm, nice. Oh yeah, and then you just sent it over to your guy's vocalist, or did he come and record with you?
He came and recorded with me a handful
Nice.
of times.
Nice, hell yeah.
And had a Sennheiser mic, nothing too special. And we would actually send it to our bassist because he lives the furthest.
No, okay, yeah.
And he'd record over that, and that guy is just solid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's cool. Yeah.
Ghoul's a good guy. He's a solid dude. Yeah, I remember because also we shot. I mean, like we just talk about the Alpha in the room. We shot the music video together with like me, Lyle, and then you guys. But when we went to go record part of the performance, like I was like was like, okay, we got to do this before sun goes down. So let's start like kind of banging it out. But I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to actually sit there and like talk to you guys and hang out and not be a bitch. So I was like, I
Yeah.
was like, hey, cool. Like, you ready for this shit? And he's like, yeah, I got you. And then just fucking like one took it basically. Like he's just was like energetic enough to where I was like, the first take is good. We're gonna get a second for safety, but god damn it, the first take was good.
He is solid. That man is consistent.
Yeah,
That's just having him on at some point because he's got his projects of his own.
yeah, that's true.
Bill to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man. He's consistent. If nothing, if not.
I mean, I try to work really closely when it comes to music because I got like the drum brain. He's got the string brain.
Hmm. Yeah, it just kind of like
So to say,
works.
because I've been playing guitar as long as I have, but I keep hearing the same comment like I kind of play like a percussion instrument, not like a slap, but just like slow and low kind of thing.
Yeah,
I try to make it more impactful than groovy or the
yeah.
sentiments piss most guitarists off. Like,
God, right. Do I remember like my band had like a whole nightmare situation where we were trying to figure out like what to do because we didn't have a bassist. We had two guitarists, and we had the our bassist didn't like the style we are going towards, so he left. And so, but there's no hard feelings. I love that dude. He's part of you probably know him. He's part of Nova Fracture. Um, and we had two guitarists, and so we're like, well, we should get a bass, or at least have a guitar pitch shifted down super tough. Like those are kind of our choices here.
yeah,
And then our we ended up having playing one show with two guitars, and it was like apparently off stage it sounded fine, but on stage it sounded like a fucking clusterfuck. I didn't know what the fuck was
really.
happening. Yeah, I was like, there's no because apparently like just subconsciously I followed bass. I didn't know I did, but I did. And so when there was no bass anymore, I was like, and I mean, the show ended up going well. Like, I just had to follow our guitarist Reggie instead. But like, oh, God, that was like. So then we ended up having one of our guitarists, Andy, change the bass, and he made a really good bassist. He was like really hype, and he got rhythm. He has like I would if it's weird because for a guitarist he has a very much like a rhythm progression like percussion head. It's interesting. So like he his
Right.
bass just came super naturally to him. He just basically picked it up. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
we're playing in this note. Okay, cool, or whatever. Like he picked it up
Right.
super naturally. But like yeah, that was playing without a bassist was kind of a nightmare for that one show we did it.
Yeah. We used to play without bass a bunch. There was at one point though where most of the time through our duration we did have a bassist. We were a four piece when we
Mm,
were gigging like all the time. There was a point, or when I was playing guitar, me and the bassist would switch instruments
nice.
because like our writing styles were so different that like we would just do that.
Yeah.
Like we slam songs, and then like he'd be kind of groovy. He plays a little like I want to say like older fashioned, but he's more of a guitarist.
Yeah.
He's gonna play more intricate kind of things.
Yeah.
So he would just it was kind of a gimmick to just like swap on stage and shit. But
God, I love that shit though. Even though I'm like I know because my band would do that sometimes. Like my guitarist and bassist would swap, or my or I would have swap with my with our bassist occasionally. Even still, I'm just like, oh, that's so hype though. It's like, oh, that's so cool. Fuck.
right, there was there was this one habit I was trying to get into, or like before I had that battle axe guitar, I had like that as like cheap little LTD
Yeah.
with like a cheap little wireless thing on it.
Mm.
And then done, I would throw my guitar into somebody else, start hitting my guitar while it was on that. It was cheap,
Yeah.
but we were hardcore, so
We gotta do
you
it.
don't see that every day.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
funny. I did that to our friend. He just started shredding away at it. It's like, oh shit, I'm not gonna. He started shredding. That's fired. Get out.
Just leave, god damn it.
Yeah.
God,
If I ever
yeah.
did that to a friend, it was really a ploy, so I didn't have to carry my own instrument out. Just carry the amp and leave.
That's five head. That's the five head fucking choice. Dude, yeah, I
Yeah.
our bassist put a wireless rig on his bass, and he would just like walk into the pit, and he would just like thrash around for a bit and leave, and he never hit anybody with his bass, but he would every show he was like inches from fucking slamming into someone's head, and
Yeah.
I'd be like on stage and I'd look over and see it like, and I just have to like try not to like, like while doing
Yeah, that
vocals.
happens. Fuck, like I've never seen anyone get hit in the crowd, but I've seen someone on stage like just
Oh yeah.
take the head like straight. Saw Dan from Enterprise Earth like
Oh
get
no.
nailed in the fucking cheek and just
Oh.
acted like it didn't happen, but his face was so bloody. Like
Oh yeah.
it
I
was
think.
funny as shit though. Like he just pretended it didn't happen. Like at all. It didn't phase him. It's like
Dude,
he's used to it or something. Poor guy.
dude. For $1 a day, you can stop Dan from Enterprise Earth abuse if you
Fucking
just call
domestic
one eight
abuse.
hundred.
Dan,
Dude, yeah.
yeah, support Dan.
We have a support line for the band. Oh God. Um, yeah, no. There's one show I played where our bassist tried to do. He put strap locks on it on his bass. So he tried to do the thing where he threw his bass around him, right, and then just it swung around. And he caught it or whatever, right? And
Yeah,
he was too close to me, and so he threw it and it just slammed into my rib, which I had already broken previously in MMA when I was doing
oh
MMA. So
no,
I was like in the middle of screaming something, and I just went like just like crumpled.
he died.
I just fucking
Jesus.
crumpled. But then
Like
just
it's
like
part of the act.
yeah, no, I just was like laying on the ground and just like like doing
I'm fucking
whatever.
putting my chest back together here.
Yeah. Let me just figure out if I'm broken or not right now, right quick.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that shit sucked. That was the worst.
Now, hats off to vocalists that can pull off like a half-hour set just screaming the whole time. I start
Oh
getting
yeah.
a headache. I'm like screaming in my car for 15 minutes. I do it, but like I just cannot stop this form of headache from occurring.
Oh
It's
god, that
I
sucks.
seek help everywhere I can.
That fucking sucks.
I literally had a Ian Bear from Rings of Saturn was doing lessons once, and I took him up on it, and he had like he had no idea what that was about, like other than like not breathing
Yeah,
properly.
that's the first thing that came to my head, but I figured you already knew that.
That dude told me everything. He wrote me a straight dossier of what I had, but it just like I had that many questions,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if
and
you're gonna get
like
lessons from someone like that, you might as well just ask the whole
he
fucking
took me
book.
serious.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're gonna if you're gonna
Yeah,
like yeah,
like he said the lows were tight, which was
that's
he
good to
said it
hear.
was good though, so that's
That's good.
pretty ego with that one.
Yeah,
That
dude, I
keep
had
it in my
this.
locket.
Just store that in the bottle and never let it go.
Ian said I was good.
That's all I need. That's all I need for the rest of my life. Dude, that happened to me with Diarta's Murder. We played with them. We opened for them at one point, and CJ saw a little bit of our set, and he was like, no, your vocals are pretty good, man. They're not bad. Like you definitely got like you got something there. So just just like focus in and hone what you got in your own style. And I was like, I'm gonna go to my car and just fucking remember this forever. Like that made me like
Right.
fucking crumble, dude. That shit killed me.
I know.
It's like because that was like my shit in high school, so I was just like, just fucking dying.
Uh,
That is really
opening for
cool.
bands you listened to in high school. Then when they give you like the "you got hot kid" kind of talk, it's like, yeah, awesome.
It's like what you're trying to do is like, oh yeah, man, thanks. And what you're actually doing is just screaming. It's
Right.
just that like,
That was awesome because like when I was playing guitar, I'd get into a lot of conversations with guitarists,
oh
and
yeah,
like a lot of the times when somebody would blow me away, the first thing would just be like, "What the fuck am I playing?" Because it was, it was that ethereal, the metal one, the
yeah, oh, yeah,
fucking. So that always got questions.
yeah.
Then that always opened up conversations to like what people's actual techniques are. Like the
Mm.
guitarist from Filth,
Oh yeah,
I can't remember his name, but like he always going on about or like what he'd be doing solo.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never seen anyone actually use like a 9 string before. When he was setting that up, I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck? Those
dude, they
exist?"
dude, they get low. That band gets fucking low, dude.
It, I try to like open sets for those dudes as often as I can.
Oh yeah.
Those are if I had a favorite, like
Well yeah.
they have the
Plus,
king of low and slow.
oh yeah. Well yeah, exactly. Like you guys are
That's
down
actually
tempo, so
that's who we met.
yeah, that's
That's
how we
right.
met. Was you guys opened for? I remember like because I think we played second. I can't remember
Yeah.
though. Yeah, I think we played second, and I remember like loading like backlining some of our stuff, and we're like, and I or no, did we? I don't know. I remember we backlined. I don't think we did actually because it's Funhouse and there's like no stage anyway, so I don't think we can even backline.
Right.
But I said backline, and I remember it was at the Funhouse. I was like, wait, that can't be right. We would never backline at the Funhouse. There's like no stage in the first place. But
Exactly.
but I remember we like walked in. I saw you guys playing. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of these guys before. And I kind of sat there for a while. And I was like, this is neat. I need to go smoke a cigarette before I have to do vocals for 30 minutes. And I just like like would walk back outside, but I stayed like close to the door so I could still kind of like hear what you guys were doing while smoking. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I
with the
liked you guys.
motion.
Yeah, I liked you guys. You guys were sick. Because again, there's not many down tempo bands around here. Most of them are hardcore, which is great. Love it. But like, there's not really any like low, slow, fucking down tempo evil shit.
Or there's an art to it. I think at the least it's almost simple, but it's the idea is like trying to write something you'd hear in a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want to listen to those bands. Like, oh, like I'd be scared if I was alone in the dark listening to that. That's something you listen to on a nice day drive. You know,
Nice day drive going down the freeway, lots of people around you.
nice on a Sunday. Just
On God's day,
leave on the day of the week.
Oh God. Yeah, no, it's like dude, like it's weird because people think like, oh well, it'd be easy to write something down tempo. You do like four notes, you have the same, you keep it low, you just do it slow. And it's like no, but it's like it's about a feeling.
Like they have to be the
Like
right four notes.
yeah. That's how I feel with punk
They
bands
have
too.
to
I'm
be
like they have to be the right four
notes.
chords, you jackass. Come
They have to be
on.
the right atmosphere. And you probably don't even hear it on the backtrack most of the time, but there's this guy on leads going insane,
Oh
trying to
yeah.
make it sound like a tunnel.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
dude, the guy who's
make it
just
sound like
like
some kind of cave.
the guy who's just like on the very bottom part of the fret, like all the way up, like
Right.
doing
It's got like fucking five pedals going on, trying to make it sound like a
like an ethereal tunnel or some
yeah.
shit, like a horror movie SFX trailer.
Exactly.
And like it's not only
And at
that, but
least to me,
like
it just doesn't get old.
yeah, and not only that, but it's like it's more about feeling than anything really. Like yeah, anybody if you showed them like what down tempo was, I feel like anybody who had like good knowledge of guitar or drums could like write a track for that. But it wouldn't be very good because they wouldn't get the feeling of it. Like there's a
You could
specific
write something
ambience.
similar, but then they're not odds of them playing the exact same thing and
Yeah,
then having it like hit the same way. Odds aren't
exactly.
good.
Exactly. It's like you know that I've actually equated this to my friends. Downtempo is kind of like the genre about comedic timing almost. Like it's like how comedians focus so much on their comedic timing that's what the joke ends up being is about the timing. whereas that's like the same thing for down tempo. Like it's about the timing of every note, and it's about the timing of when the big breakdown hits, and it's about all like the pacing of it.
It's funny that you mentioned it's like a comedic thing because there's this one like nail of the mix. I watched one of those once, and it was with Buster from Humanity's Last Breath,
Oh, nice.
and he was going on this point about how like if it's like so heavy, you kind of chuckle a little, and like that's
Oh
good.
yeah.
Like because they were doing that shit. Like he'd single out like one of the guitar just by itself,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just something gross. And
Oh
it
yeah.
was, and the dudes were just like chuckling, like, "What the fuck is that?" It's like that's exactly the reaction you need to get.
I always either do that or I remember when we were in practice and we were writing one day and we are trying to figure out like how to build up to like the ending breakdown or whatever, and our guitarist was like, here, I'm just gonna do a slide and then let it ring and like turn around and let it ring through the amp. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And so then he did that and did the breakdown. I just remember yelling like goddamn super loud. I was like, god damn, like super fucking loud. Cause I was like, that's sick. Like it's there's just
Do you
something,
feel it?
yeah, there's just something about writing
Sure, it
something
may
really
not be
cool.
technically heavier, but you feel that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like it may not be some like dude, some sweaty dude in his basement writing like on a seven string this like immaculate tech death album, but like dude, you felt it and it's
I want
cool.
to put my
Like
math homework into my guitar, and even though I totally do that, but
yeah.
aside from that being the point,
I don't I don't want to have to solve PEMDAS while trying to write a song, man.
on the flip side, I love the shreddy bands and
Oh,
shit
same.
too.
Oh,
It's
same.
like I don't have the in between. I don't really go for the riff. I go for the like the chugs or the
Yeah, or the like super
willies.
shred. You're not really into the like kind of in between where it's like kind of chuggy, kind of insane. You kind of you yeah, it seems like you like kind of the extremes of both.
And I'll beat somebody to the burn. Like it does seem like I like practicing being awesome more than I like being practicing the guitar because that's somebody hit me with that burn once and that stung. So, like,
That shit hurted.
you don't practice guitar, bro. You just practice being awesome. It's like, oh,
Ow.
like
It's like damn. I think I got that once. Or no, I got you should go back to practicing vocals more because you sound like a dying sheep. And I was like, well, that's the point though. I want to sound like I'm a dying sheep. So, uh,
I love when people like try to talk shit about vocals. It's like they can sound raw and like they hurt because someone
yeah,
has a weird technique, or you just don't like screaming.
yeah.
And it's
It,
like one or the other.
it's one or the other. Like
It's not even a solid case one point or the other.
yeah.
It's,
It's like I come from a punk background, man. I come from the punk scene mainly, and like getting into metal more. I kind of brought that like that part of punk to like my band where it's like everything's a little DIY, everything's a little janky, and like there's a little bit of jank in everything because I like that. I
yeah,
think that makes it interesting. And
that
like
seems like the Seattle game.
yeah,
It's like a little bit of everything, a little bit of jank.
a
It's like
little bit of jank, a little bit of weirdness. Like yeah, no, and so like my vocals were like a little raw in comparison to a lot of other Seattle bands at the time. And so like people like some people really liked it and some people really did not like it, and I was like that's fair, you don't have to, but it was just really funny to see people try to like make fun of it, and I'm like yeah, but like that's the point. I want to sound like a raccoon that just got stabbed. Like that's what I wanted from this, so thank you for telling me that's what happened. It's like
never gone to a show just to be like, man, those guys suck. I've never
yeah,
that shit never crosses my mind unless like it's something I just thoroughly don't understand.
yeah.
But even then, if I just don't understand it, I'm like, what the fuck makes them tick? It's like, why? Why is this their idea of? Because I've seen a couple of noise
Oh, I
or
love
I
noise
guess
shows.
performance art kind of things.
Oh yeah, I love that
Yeah, the
shit.
first thing I ever seen, I just had no idea what that was. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So, like,
Dude, I remember. Sorry, go ahead.
it was like this was the first one. I ended up liking it. Like Three's like a murder scene or something. This dude was beating the
Oh,
mailbox.
oh yeah, one of the yeah. That's sick. I remember
Exactly. Like
it's just so
funny how
fucking
shit like
sick.
that can tie a knot in your memory.
Oh yeah, I
And then having
remember.
people that say like, "Oh, they suck." It's like, no,
No, they're great.
you remember them.
They're interesting.
Like that's what matters.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I remember I went to go see Sea Space Cowboy in Oregon, and when I went, they had one of the local bands opening up. I think I'm so sorry I forgot their names. I think it's like Senza or something like that. Um, they came up and they were a noise rock band, and they were so fucking weird and so fucking good. Their whole thing is that they don't use mics. They moved the mics like
Oh,
away from them and just like screamed incoherently over their music, over like these really technical
that's
like
sick.
noise riffs. But they would just fucking like like just over the fucking thing. Like it was interesting.
That is something.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really good show though. That's how that shit goes, man. It's like any noise is just
To
interesting.
out weird Sea Space Cowboy.
Oh god, I
That's
love
no
them.
easy task.
Oh
Let's say I
right,
love them.
they're so
They're
fucking
one of
good.
those things where like, or I was mentioning the first time you listen to something, you go, huh? But then like it's so odd. You keep thinking about it. It's like, okay, I guess I'm listening to it now,
That's true. Yeah,
and now you're hooked. And
I really like their that sound though because I've always been a fan of like Converge and the Chariot. So I've always really
yeah,
liked that like noisy
exactly.
hardcore.
It's I mean, I don't want to say like sloppy, but just like string noise. Let's
Yeah,
call it a bunch of string noise.
yeah. I mean that's what it is. It's like just a lot of like string noise, feedback, stuff like that. Playing a lot around a lot with like space and like where to put that sort of stuff. Ah, it's I
Right.
love them. Love them. Love them all. And Connie's a really she's a really talented vocalist. So it's just like fuck. Dude, I watched her. They were on tour
Their
with
voice is something that's
her voice is something else, dude.
that, that someone referred to it as sasscore. It's like
Yeah,
that's accurate.
it is. Yeah,
That's what
yeah. That's what I
that
think.
is accurate.
Yeah, apparently that's what they call it. Where I think I read somewhere that's where they call it where she's from in San Francisco. And I think it's Bay Area. I don't know though. I might be wrong about that. But
Wait, they're from Cali?
yeah, yeah, they're from I think they're from Bay Area, San Francisco, or at least that's where Connie grew up.
They hardly ever play in Washington. That's odd.
I know. It's
Or I guess I never catch them, but like I can't tell you how many bands like Wheel played with they're from Cali. It's like, oh, like I guess to them it's like right up the road or something.
yeah. I
Not
think it's
right
because
up the road, but
they were still
that's
kind
what
of
you make
small.
your round. If we were to make it to that point, right?
Yeah, it's good. I think it's because they were still kind of small in comparison. Now, I think since quarantine or since like right before quarantine, they started really like blowing up in the metal hardcore scene a bit more. And I think now they would do like a full tour. But before I remember they only did a couple runs. They did like an East Coast run and they did like two West Coast runs. I think. I don't
Yeah, they hit the East a bunch. I was like, what the fuck? Because I've known about them ever since like Songs for the Siren Squad drops.
Oh yeah,
I was like, this is insane.
yeah.
I love it. It was
Dude, they're so good. Like I remember I saw them. I saw that they were on tour with Wrist Meet Razor, which I love as well.
those guys are
Oh, those guys are
they
so
have
fucking
aesthetic
good,
down to a point, dude. I
right?
just went to the Charleston that one day because this Outlier was playing. I
Oh
really
yeah,
like Outlier.
I do too.
And Meth and Wrist Meets Razor were there. Meth is insane.
True, true
Crazy. Those guys were like to pull that off with a three piece.
is insane. It's insanity,
And like their drummers, their vocalists, it's like
dude.
dog.
It's just
It's
insane. It's insanity. Yeah,
right.
yeah. No,
Kill to play with Meth. That'd be
God, dude.
those dudes. I mean, to me, they're right up the alley
Yeah,
because it's like their idea of I don't want to say a breakdown, but like sequence breaking what they usually do. They'll slow it down in a weird way,
yeah.
and they'll make it eerie and
Exactly.
then tone it back up to mathcore, you know?
Yeah, they're really interesting. Their songwriting style is really interesting. Oh god. Yeah, no, dude. Like that whole like style that's been coming back more of like that chaotic like hardcore shit. It's so good.
Yeah,
I really
I
love
blame
it.
Daughters for that.
Yeah.
Now everyone
them
likes Daughters, and they're like, "Oh, I guess Screaming's okay."
yeah,
Or
them and Vane.
erratic instruments,
I feel like them and Vane are to blame. Like Daughters of Vane.
vain. Yeah,
Well, yeah, anyway.
there's this one. I don't know if they've ever come to Washington. Quit name dropping at this one. Fucking Gift from God.
Oh, dude, I love them. God, I love them. I
I've
have one of
only
their
I've only listened
CDs.
to them. I've never seen them.
I have one of their CDs somewhere. Is this one it? No. I'll find it. Yeah, I love them so much.
Yeah,
They're
shows need to happen again. I haven't seen them.
right, dude.
But
I want shows again. Well, we have come. We have conquered. It's been an hour. So, so this is about where I end it.
standard podcast time. You're
Yep. Plus I need to like make some food before going to work. Um, so really quickly, where can people find you and your band and stuff, like your social medias and all that fun stuff, and shouting out like releases and all that kind of fun stuff? You can go ahead and do that.
all of our social medias are under Imposter of Humanity. I'm a part of a bunch of, well, currently two. You can also check out Will's Deceits. We're on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere. Our songs are gonna be everywhere. We did the DistroKid thing, so like Spotify, YouTube, and all the good shit.
Yeah.
And we will be releasing that video here at some point soon. We had just dropped a trailer for it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell
We can
yeah. Hell yeah.
discuss. Thanks for
It's
taking
sick.
the time, dude.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for also dealing with the
Absolutely.
lag with me.
Of course.
We both got the bask in the amazing internet lag. It was great. All right. Have a good one. Have a good one,
That's
Angela.
the new one. Take it easy, man.
Take it easy.